you had the opportunity to ever have hot bread fresh out of the oven? If so, you know that it is a delicious treat. Today, we're going to be making bread in a bag. Hi, my name is Kathy Allen. I'm with Oklahoma State University State 4-H office, where I work in the area of healthy living. I'm excited that you're watching this, and hopefully you will make yourself some bread in a bag. It is a delicious treat, and oftentimes families and individuals shy away from making homemade bread because they've never done it before. Well, today the bread that we're going to be making uses 6 simple ingredients. Most of the ingredients you will have at home, and if not, talk to your parents and maybe you can put them on the grocery list for the next time a member of your family heads to the store. The ingredients that we will need for homemade bread in a bag are white flour, sugar, rapid rise yeast, warm water, olive oil or vegetable oil, and salt. So again, it's just 6 simple ingredients. We will also need a resealable plastic bag. I personally prefer to sit my bag into a bowl or a pitcher type bowl like this, so if it would tip over, none of the ingredients will spill out. So let's get started. The first thing that we need for our recipe is 1 cup of flour. It is important when you are measuring flour not to pack the flour. I prefer to use a scoop method and fill my measuring cup full, then using a straight edge spatula to get exactly the right amount of flour. I'll then add the flour to my resealable plastic bag, followed next by 3 tablespoons of white sugar. The next ingredient is 1 packet of rapid rise yeast, or 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast if you purchase it in bulk. The yeast is essential to baking any type of bread. Finally, I want to add 1 cup of warm water. We want to make sure that the water is not hot or it can cause damage to our yeast. So these are the first ingredients that we will add. We will then squeeze as much of the air out of our resealable plastic bag as possible, and then begin with our hands mixing all of the ingredients together. Once all of the ingredients are mixed together, we will let this lay out on our countertop and rest for 10 minutes. We've allowed our dough mixture to rest on the countertop at room temperature for 10 minutes. You can see that bubbles have began to form in the dough mixture. This is from the yeast expelling carbon dioxide as it feeds on the sugar that we put in the original ingredients. Okay, we're now on to our second step of adding ingredients. And now we will add an additional 1 cup of flour. You have to be a little careful because our bag is a little wet. So we've added our 1 cup of flour. We will add our 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil or olive oil and 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. Again, we will seal our bag, making sure that it is fully sealed, getting out as much of the air as we can, and we will mix the second batch of ingredients in. We actually add the ingredients in 3 steps. It is a total of 3 cups of flour in this dough batter, but we want to make sure that we add it in different parts so that we can get everything mixed well. So I have finished mixing in the 2nd cup of flour, the oil, and the salt. I am now ready to add our 3rd and final cup of flour to our bread dough mixture. Same step as the first time, making sure that we seal our bag really well so we don't create a mess on the countertop or in the kitchen, getting out as much of the air as possible, and mixing all of the 1/3 cup of flour in until everything is well combined. I just finished mixing in the 1/3 cup of flour, so I am now ready to turn the dough out onto a lightly floured surface. So we'll want to make sure that your surface, again, is clean, and we will just sprinkle some flour out onto the surface, spreading it out, opening our bag, and the dough should be pretty well combined into a ball. If it is not, you will want to combine it into a ball. So at this point, we will continue working just a little bit of flour into it so that it is not sticky and does not stick to our surface. We are now ready to begin kneading the dough. So we push away from us, moving the dough, constantly keeping it moving, adding more flour if needed as we go. We will knead the dough for approximately 5 to 10 minutes until it is smooth. You use the heel of your hands to push away from your body. You want to be sure not to work too much flour into your dough. I'm just finishing kneading my dough, and now I will shape it into a loaf, and you can either divide your dough into 2 halves to make and place in mini loaf pans, or I'm going to just make 1 loaf. I will now place the dough in my greased loaf pan, where I will cover with a towel and allow the dough to rest for 30 minutes. After the 30-minute rest, I will bake the bread in a 375-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. I just pulled this warm bread right out of the oven. It smells delicious, and I think it looks beautiful. You too can make bread in a bag. Please see the recipe. Oklahoma 4-H, I challenge you to bake your own loaf of bread, use the bag method, and post a picture of you and your loaf of bread by 5 o'clock on Friday. We will then be doing a drawing for a 4-H member to receive a 4-H apron and a spoon. Thanks. Remember to stay healthy and stay safe.